Hi mums and dads and boys and girls, it's Grandad Phil again. I've got a story for you again. This one's called Shall We Live Together? And it's about a garden snail called Snigger, who's got an unusually large shell. And he topples over. And this story is about some suggestions from certain friends that live in the garden, how he should keep himself upright. So here we go. Hope you like it. The back-breaking journey by Snigger, travelling slow at full speed, was observed in the garden by Arthur, a very quick centipede. Admiring Snigger, who had paused for lunch, he gave the mollusk a prod. "What a cumbersome shell for a garden snail," remarked the arthropod. "And I couldn't help but notice, Snail, when you pass by the garden hut, your large home appears to topple on your silvery trail, and with only 1 foot." "A suggestion," said Arthur boldly. "It may help to keep you upright. It comes from someone with lots of legs, though I recently lost some in a fight. An extra foot would be useful, a soulmate to help steady your shell. Advertise in pink, I'll paint on the words, it may attract a lady as well." With no experience at decorating, Arthur soon finished the task. The notice read, "Space to rent, please knock on my shell and ask." In the garden, Snigger paraded his sign. His advert failed to impress. Though before the paint had dried, some flies were attracted. Oh dear, it did look a mess. Cunningly watching was slithering Sid. This grass snake had a hunch. Just within reach of his long, sticky tongue waited a very tasty lunch. Hissed Sid. A meal on a snail. A feast in front of his eyes. Out shot his tongue as quick as a flash and plucked off some nice juicy flies. Feeling the shock from those prodding lunges, Snigger remained inside. "Come out," beckoned Sid, "I don't eat snails." But terrified Snigger preferred to hide. "Look," assured Sid, "I could have swallowed you now, but your shell would have stuck in my throat." Convinced this grass snake was telling the truth, Snigger peeped from under his coat. The snake's lunging tongue struck quickly again. "Ha ha! Just caught that last fly." Snigger saw it coming too late and really thought he was going to die. "Sorry, Snail, that was greedy of me. Don't worry though, I was just cleaning your shell. Those nice juicy flies were yummy, and so was that pink dip as well." Sid kindly offered to help in return for the lunch he'd just had. "Can I trust you this time, muffled Snigger?" who remained under cover, nursing a swollen foot pad. "If you can't trust a snake, who can you trust?" hissed Sid. "I'll show you how to woo a lady." There was a glint in his eye. Was he telling a lie? Dealings with snakes could be very shady. "What I suggest, my little friend, is some colour to make you appealing. Ladies aren't attracted to plain garden snails. When I've coloured you, you'll have them squealing. Just look at me. I've got plenty of colour. 6 wives are waiting at home. Convinced by Sid's persuasion again, Snigger limped out of his shell-shocked dome. Sorry about your foot, said Sid, meanwhile mixing some paint. Sorry? He didn't know the meaning. Sly Sidney Grassnake was no saint. Right, Snail, let's see. Sid sized him up with a closed eye like all artists do. I think I'll splash on some green at the bottom, followed by yellow and blue. Snigger strained, trying to look. Are you sure this is a good idea? Trust me, assured Sid, loading his tongue, then proceeded to paint his joke on the rear. Snigger, unable to see his back, where Sid wrote the words to his folly, painted in huge capital letters, it read, I am Snigger, the world's biggest wally. Right, smirked Sid, delighted at the fool he'd just created. I'll accompany you down the garden path, where potential girlfriends already waited. Nervously, Snigger crawled. With a sore foot, it took him an hour to reach his blind dates in the garden, when suddenly dark skies threatened a shower. Rumours had spread quickly about Snigger's intentions. Glamorous shell suits lined the path. Sid's joke had worked out perfectly. The rains poured down, giving his shell a bath. Sadly for Snigger, the colours ran, streaking onto his face. His latest attempt at courtship had failed. Embarrassed and smudged, he turned in disgrace. Grassnake chuckled and hissed, what idiots snails can be. Watching the streaky words he wrote, make colourful puddles for the ladies to see. Another failed plan, another disaster. Was he destined to live life alone? Which lady would court this failure now? Curled up in his shell, he is sulked by a stone. There was a knock on his shell. He didn't stir. Can I have a word? Feeling the gentle vibration inside, he pretended he hadn't heard. Whoever it was who disturbed him, he didn't want to know. He needed to sulk alone right now and wished the intruder would kindly go. Knock, knock. He felt the jolt again. I followed and I thought you were brave. I was waiting along the garden path and nervously gave you a wave. Oh, go away, shouted Snigger, annoyed. Your visit is very cruel. Aren't you satisfied with your little prank, making me look a fool? I didn't think you were foolish. I thought you were extremely courageous. And those colours you wore to attract me were stunning, so beautiful and bravely outrageous. Anyway, asked Snigger, with improving mood, why have you followed me here? Hoping a lady answered with intentions kind and sincere. He'd been told so many lies before, tricked in so many ways. Maybe this time it was different. He would listen to what this stranger says. Snigger waited and waited, in silence, under his shell. He expected to hear a reply, but it never came, and Snigger sighed. Oh well. He waited a little longer, in the hope that the visitor might be playing some teasing game with him. He looked, but there was no one in sight. Never mind, sighed Snigger, but he did mind. Deep in thought, he went over once more what the stranger had said about courage and the attraction to the colours he wore. Attraction, attraction, thought Snigger aloud. The stranger was attracted to me. She liked me, he shouted excitedly. The stranger's a snail and a she. His first romantic encounter had the moment he longed for gone. I'll search the whole garden over, but how will she know me now my colours have gone? Oh, grass snake, where are you? Please brighten my dull shell again. A lady came courting, she likes me, but my colours washed off in the rain. It's the first time I've ever been noticed, and I owe my good fortune to you. Restore my courtship colours again with those delicate patterns only you can do. But his pleading appeal went unanswered. I knew you were having a joke. Suddenly a creature came scurrying by. Though it wasn't Sid Grass Snake, his pleas had awoke. What's all this noise? Goodness gracious! Can't a squirrel who's tired take a nap? Please keep your noise down, good heavens, or run along, there's a good chap. Lofty the squirrel departed, scampering back up in the tree. Now there's a good viewpoint, thought Snigger. Perhaps if I shout it from there, she'll hear me. Snigger made another terrible din, attracting tired Lofty's attention. Now listen here, lectured Lofty again. I returned with the worst intention. After lots of pleading and oh Lofty please, the squirrel agreed to put Snigger on a branch high up in the tree and carried him in his mouth like a nut. Prunella was a beautiful snail, though friends considered her shy. Like Snigger, she required a gentle push if ever the right snail passed by. So when he was spotted arriving at court, they encouraged Prunella to wave. Prunella, look, here's the one for you, matchmaking advice her girlfriends gave. Prunella, shyly hesitating, nervously waved at the shell. Admitting from her side of the path, his home seemed comfy and painted well. After the rains had spoilt his pattern, she was more determined to find if indeed there was a Wally inside who turned from court and left her behind. At the stone she had left him sulking, in the hope he'd follow her trail. He had to come out of his shell alone. Was he a Wally or a desirable snail? No hiding behind any colours this time. Snigger shouted, Did you really come looking for me? His voice echoed around the garden. Look up, I'm here in this tree. Prunella, 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 Prunella. Friends passed the message along. He's calling, he's calling, he's calling, he's calling. He says, it's with you I belong. He says, if you care to meet him, he'll be waiting under this tree. Perhaps I might, Prunella teased. He'll have to wait and see. After their first nervous kiss, their courtship was bliss. Their romance soon blossomed to marriage. And if you search in your garden today, you may find their two-footed carriage. Hope you like that. See you next time. Bye-bye.